into these funds. And the previous record was in September, 104 tons. So I think the GLD, which is the ETF here in the United States by the World Gold Council, I think they get something like 950 tons. And to put it into perspective, the Swiss government is holding 1,040 tons. So I don't know where that puts the gold ETFs on the list, but I rather think it's around 7, 8, or 9 in the world.
That'd be a lot of the yellow shiny stuff.
Sure is.
I want my Obama coin.
Oh, by the way, Bob, want to get your take on how you think fourth quarter results are going to be faring for the miners when we return.
Is that people under the age of 18? Mark, Joel, Henry, Judy, Julian, Rhonda, all of you people, everybody hang on. Second hour of the National Intel Report coming to you forthwith. But we got to do the top of the hour break. 800-313-9443. And don't call me Julie. I hear there's jobs in the military. You might want to run down to your recruiter station and show up. By the way, it only costs $775,000 a year for each soldier in Afghanistan.
More soldiers committed suicide this January than died in combat.
This is the Tuesday edition, February 10th, 2009. We've got to put that tag in there so I can pull the archives in defense in a court of law if the government wants to come after me.
They must probably come after you after my show this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, drawing distinctions between Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama. Interesting connection there.
Mark in Texas. Let's keep the calls rolling here. Hello, Mark.
Well, gentlemen, good afternoon.
Well, from your vantage point, I hope that's a true statement.
Well, it's raining. Hopefully we won't die of thirst this summer. Hey,
yeah.
It looks like with everything that's going on, no matter what takes place, the continuity of government must continue unabated.
Hear, hear.
If the federal government wanted to do something, what they should do is just behind closed doors. I mean, heck, who cares anymore? What are the rules anyway?
There are none.
Just fund a couple of million, which ought to be equal to maybe an AIG monthly retreat, a couple of million, to each state for the unemployment commission. Let's fund these folks so the people, at least we have a certain amount of civility still left in society. But no, it's divide and conquer, don't you know? What I'm seeing right now is there was just held the United States Conference of Mayors up here in my neck of the woods. Let me guess what. Over 10% of all adults in the state of Texas have outstanding tickets. They have warrants for their arrest. Let me tell you what the United States mayors are wanting. In this little town of Frisco, 125 from the federal government, by the way. Town of Frisco, 125,000 for an armored vehicle, 200,000 for a mobile command center. Can you say roadblocks? North Richland Hills. Irving wants $5 million for biometric scanners, digital cameras, RFID scanners. Arlington wants $1.6 million for SWAT toys. $625,000 for an unmanned aerial surveillance drone.
Sounds like they're preparing for civil unrest.
What in the heck is going on, gentlemen? This is divide and conquer in its most elementary form.
Well, and they really couldn't wait, and I often wondered this. If they wanted to take over the United States without a shot being fired, without any civil unrest, barely anybody making a peep, the globalists in their takeover of this country, they could have waited at least one more generation. They could have done it without a shot being fired or barely a whisper or a whimper from anybody. I mean, the thing that disturbs me, you want to mention divide and conquer. How many people are Obamanoids right now that are looking to this guy to actually do something? This shows you the incredible stupidity level. But, we're going to hope. We're going to change.
Well, Dallas County's looking for traffic ticket revenue to submit the budget.
Hey, hang on a second. I got a break. Hang on.
These own the banking game. And what goes on inside it, they still own it. They still control it. And they want a world central bank. And they're just taking enormous strides towards it at the expense of the harmony, the peace, and the lives of people. There you go. There's the banking system. There's the world financial system. Las Vegas frickin' casino. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with the benefit of human beings and daily life among the mass of the people. It's just a casino. And this guy, old Paulson, Henry Paulson, he's in old Goldman Sachs, head of Goldman Sachs, when the old subprime thing was going, and Goldman Sachs was massively involved in all that stuff. He then goes through the revolving door between the corporations and government, becomes Treasury Secretary, and then he says, oh, I've got a great idea. Let's give what is $1 trillion and then some to the banks, not least because when I'm finished in government, I'm going back through the door into the banking system. And we stand for this. We stand for this. And, of course, what is the basis of it? Be afraid. Be afraid. When people are frightened of anything, they give their power away. Oh, isn't it wonderful, however, how many people in this country have said, we don't want this now. We're making strides here. Because the politicians are voting for their shadow people masters. They're voting against the vast number of people in this country that can now see it. It's so bloody blatant. But when people are in fear, they give their power away to that which they think could save them from what they fear. And this embarrassing statement to the nation the other day from Bush, I thought someone had stuck something up his bum, his bloody eyes. He looked terrified. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but this is what he said. Be afraid. Just be very afraid. Lost homes, savings, all that stuff. Just do as we say and we'll save you all. God bless America. Thank you. And that was it. Totalitarian tiptoe. This is another technique of manipulation. You know you're going there, but you know if you go in one leap, the change in society is such that people go, what's going on? What's going on? So you go in as big a leap as you can get, but not too big that you get a big reaction through the change that takes place. And from here, you know where you're going, and you just go in steps. That's how a free trade zone became a centralized fascist dictatorship, which is what the European Union is. And interestingly, the European Union was created from the start through an organization called the Pan-Europa Movement, which was headed and is still headed to this day by one of these elite bloodlines going back to the ancient world, the Habsburg dynasty.
Gentlemen, that puts it pretty much in a nutshell.
The black nobility.
Mark, are you still there?
You betcha.
Okay.
So we as citizens, let me take a spin off of what David said. We as citizens, we owe the city, the county, the state, and the federal government. Now, the city owes the county owes the state, and the state owes the federal government, and the federal government runs the banks that give the credit. What kind of mess have we got? This is how bad this is turning into. And now they want to turn it into a world government? Hey, let's just put another layer of unmitigated, uncontrollable, non-voted on bureaucracy on top of everything else, including all the agencies that are alphabetic that we have to fall underneath right now just in our own supposedly sovereign country. I've said enough.
Mark, I appreciate your comments.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Yes, in light of the situation, the states, the city owes the county owes the state owns the Fed, the knee bone is connected to the thigh bone. All the corporations have set up business to do business the way they've been doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. The Federal Reserve System has run its course. There's never been a fiat money system that has ever lasted more than 100 years on this planet, and we almost made it. We almost made it to 2013, but not quite. But the more important thing here on this incrementalism deal, that because of the enormity and the complexity of the problem, that you people are going to be jobless next week, we're going to have to take extraordinary measures that heretofore you might not have accepted, but it is truly and sincerely your only way out. Welcome to world government.